Okay, most requested video, I am going to teach you how to face tape. For reference, I am 34 years old. I don't get Botox. I also have hooded eyes. And so in order to keep my skin tight, lifted, and toned, I rely on skincare, skin treatments, and face tape. So I'm gonna show you how I face tape. I only do it about a few times a week. I don't do it every single night, but I'm gonna show you my routine that I do a few times a week. And there's kind of a lighter version and a more aggressive version that you can do. Example, lighter version would just be doing a piece of tape right on your 11 lines or right on your crow's feet. And then a little more of an intense taping version really helps with hooded eyes and adds lifting around the cheeks, contour area, and smile lines. So let me show you. So you can start with this type of face tape. You can also get some of the pre-cut ones. The pre-cut ones make it really easy for the forehead lines. This one I'm gonna show you is the more aggressive version that takes up the sides of your face. So I've already pre-cut 2 squares. That's what I'm gonna use for my forehead area. And then I'll show you how to cut the other part. So for the forehead area, there's 2 different ways you can cut this to easily go in your 11 lines. The first one is you can do a diamond shape. So you can just kind of cut all the corners, make a diamond, and just make sure it fits right in here. Or you can do more of a large oval shape that just goes straight up. So I have a little pair of just nail scissors. I find these are the easiest. They're really sharp and nice and tiny. So I'm just gonna kind of cut the diamond shape off. Just gonna cut the sides of the diamond shape so that it fits nicely in between. Doesn't have to be perfect, but so it fits nicely in between your eyebrows. I'm gonna cut this a little bit more just so it doesn't touch any of the hairs on your eyebrows. And again, it does not have to look pretty. Mine certainly does not look pretty. You just really cut it to the shape that works for your face. Okay, so now for putting it on, what you can do is you can rip it kind of in half here so you can peel off the bottom. And then you are not going to tug your skin back, but you are going to gently smooth out your face. So I'm not gonna go like this. I'm just gonna kind of lift a tiny, tiny bit. And I'm gonna smooth it so it sticks. Oh, I forgot to mention, I've done my entire skincare routine for night. So I have 3 different serums on and a moisturizer. So you can absolutely do your skincare as long as you let it dry down for, I would say, at least 2 minutes, just so it's not like super wet. So just gently lift and smooth up. So that's the first one on. I like to just rub it over a few times, kind of warms it, allows it to stick properly and hold throughout the night. So that's the first one. Okay, so now for the more intense version. Okay, so I'm going to cut about 2 of these squares for each side. Okay, and basically what you want to do is you want to create little legs on this. And so you're first going to round the top and then create little legs that go up. So the rounded top is what's going to go like over on this side, and then the little legs will go through here. So I'll cut the legs up first. And again, you can just adjust these for your own face shape. It's going to be a little different for everyone, just based on the areas you need to hit. So I'm cutting little legs. Cut anywhere like between 4 or 5. This one has the nice little lines for 5, so it makes it nice and easy. Okay. Have them all pretty even for the most part. Okay, so my little legs. So it's gonna go over here and stretch up. So I actually can cut up a little higher of how it's gonna fit. Okay, so let's see. So I would put it over here to make sure it's not touching my hairline, making sure I can go up, up. Okay, that's great. And then making sure I can go down for these ones. Okay, cool. I might just cut it a little closer, just so I'm not laying it on top of my hairline. Okay. And you're gonna want to break each of these to prepare. Just kind of snap them in half so it rips like this. And that way you can rip. Okay. So now you're gonna rip this top part off. Careful they don't start all sticking to each other because that's annoying. There we go. Okay, cool. And you're gonna place it right on here. Perfect. And then now you're gonna start stretching it up. So I'm gonna peel this first one off here. And again, I'm not going to like aggressively tighten it back, but I'm just going to very gently up. Nice and smooth there. And I'm going to do one above the eyebrow to help let that lymphatic drainage fluid come through. Okay, so I'm going to like slightly lift it. Stretch this. Amazing, look at that. So it's slightly lifted just to allow drainage fluid to come out through here. Now this one. And I'm only gonna do one side because I want you guys to be able to see the before and after on the other side. So I'm gonna tighten the skin, make sure it all looks good. I kind of like to do a little double drainage there. You can kind of curve it anywhere you need, especially based on your wrinkles or where you want to just create lifting in your skin. Pull back. So this, I'm going to try to get kind of the top of my smile lines. There we go. And last one, let's see. Kind of want to tighten this back so it adds a little lift. Ooh, nice right there, and you can feel it. Okay, so I am going to do this half of my skin so you can see the difference, especially in the hooded eyes. You can see it's obviously being lifted a tiny bit from the tape. You can see how much more hooded that eye is than this, but you'll really be able to see the difference whenever I take it off. And so normally you want to sleep in this, but if you have a job where you're working from the computer and maybe you don't have a lot of in-person meetings or on video call meetings, it's also really great to wear one in the middle of your forehead during the day. If you do any like squinting at the computer, it can be so helpful with smoothing out this area. But I typically, obviously when I do this, I like to wear it at night. All right, I'm gonna give you guys the update in a bit. So when it comes to taking off your face tape, it's really easy. You can either wet your fingertips with a little bit of water or take a hypochlorous acid spray or an acne-safe rose water spray and give your skin a few spritzes. Just dampen the tape a little bit. You can even spray your fingers a little. And then the most important thing is you're not going to want your skin to tug or your eyes to tug in any way. So you're gonna peel it up. Again, it makes it so much easier when it's a little bit wet. Hold your finger down and keep the skin intact as you're pulling out. If you need a little more, I'm going to be really careful around my eye area. I don't want to cause any tugging. There we go. These pieces. These ones are kind of like together. There we go. Okay, that's good to come off. And then this one. There we go. Now for the before and after. Wow, look how lifted and contoured this side of my face is. Let me get my hair behind. So you can see this eyebrow is a lot lower. It doesn't have the arch that this one does. My eye is so much less hooded. This is insane. Like I could do a wing. I can never do a wing. I have such hooded eyes. And then look how hooded this eye is right here. It's fully folded over compared to this eye right here. Not folded at all. That is wild. You can even see my cheekbone is a bit higher where it sits like down here. You can see the more contour in my face. And I didn't do jawline this time, but next time I can show you guys jawline to really open up the lymphatic fluid and carve out this area a little bit more. But you can even see it in my labial-nasal folds too. It's a little more folded over here and a little more tight right here. Before and after.